Call to order. Florence Planning and Zoning Commission. Today is March 17, 2016. It is 6 p.m. at the Town Council Chambers located 775 North Main Street, Florence, Arizona. Mr. Olgin, would you do the roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Chairman Pranzo.
Here.
Vice Chair Patrick.
Here.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Would you all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
When are you going to break down and get hearing aids?
Excuse me?
When are you going to break down and get these things?
No, I ain't gonna do it. You gotta wear glasses, that's enough. Discussion, approval, disapproval of the regular minutes of the meeting conducted on February 18th, 2016. Do we have any comments or corrections?
No, I didn't find it.
I didn't either. I make a motion, we approve the minutes as submitted.
And I'll second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Bell, seconded by Commissioner Patrick.
You'll give it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. New business. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading. Public hearing. CrossFit Pinell, PZ 16-22 CUP. Presentation, discussion, recommendation of a conditional use permit request by Chris Newman on behalf of the property owner, John Oft, to allow for an indoor commercial recreation facility within a downtown commercial zoning district at property located 301 North Main Street, Florence, Arizona, generally known as Gibby's. Mr. Olgin, do you have a presentation?
Chair, I do. Good evening. Gilbert Olgin, Senior Planner, doing the presentation for our conditional use permit. As you mentioned, this is CrossFit Pinell. The map in front of you, I want to give you kind of an orientation on where this property is located. It's in the heart of the core, the historic district. It's in the center. It's right in front of Main Street. It fronts Main Street. To the south of it is 8th Street, and behind it is Bailey Street. As you mentioned, the property has been several businesses. This is a historic property. Was rebuilt after it burnt down in the 1940s. Several uses. It was Gibby's. Then it was the Blue Adobe Event Center. So to give you some background on this, currently tonight we do have the business owner, Chris Newman, is here, and the owner of the property is John Oft. And Chris Newman runs CrossFit Pinell, which currently is located in Coolidge, Arizona. CrossFit is, to describe it, is a lot like it's a type of fitness program, if you will, used by the military. It's very popular. It's gone mainstream. It's not really self-paced. It's more you're taught by an instructor. Classes, pretty rigorous, but it has a lot of great results. And Mr. Newman was wanting to, per this use permit, wants to bring this business to Florence, hoping to attract some of the military that's based here and some of the prison guards that currently use our facility. We do currently have a facility here in town. It is not a CrossFit center. It's just a self-paced gym, antiquated at best. It was started years ago through grant money, and that's how it started. And it's currently located in a historic building about a block to the south of this location. Staff's excited. Always looking forward to push new businesses here in the downtown area. Now, when we look at conditional use permits, there's three main questions that need to be satisfied. First one being the site, the location, the use, which is a CrossFit gym, and the surrounding uses. In front of you is a chart that we put in your packet. To the north of this site, we currently have a vacant business. It used to be a restaurant that was attached to Gibby's. To the east, you have a community garden, property zone B2, and it's being used today for that purpose. To the south, you have a public parking lot, a couple of restrooms, and a hair salon that's located right across the street on 8th Street. And to the west, you have a commercial office that's currently being used. And Gibby's, or I should say, the event center is currently vacant. What's exciting about this property is, if you've never been inside, it used to be utilized as a bar. So the front has an existing bar component to it. However, the back was used as a kind of a meeting center, a dance floor, if you will. Pretty big, pretty wide, and it can accommodate the type of structure that Mr. Newman's going to bring to the facility, mostly being fitness bars at several different stages, and different equipment that should fit quite well inside the building. Concern was that there may be some major structural that need to be done to accommodate his use. It doesn't seem to be the case. Another question that we look at when conditional use permit is access. Is there access? Yes. This property has 3 points of access. The main access can be achieved off of Main Street, can be achieved off of 8th Street, that's to the south, and also off the back, which is Bailey. Second part of that question would be emergency access. That can be also achieved through all the same 3 streets that I just mentioned. And another item that's kind of makes it a great spot for this type of use is in the DC zoning district, when it was rewritten, or I should say text amendment that was done 2013, we took out, or we no longer have the requirement for parking lots or on-site parking, just ADA parking if needed. Now with that said, even though parking is not required for this use, we have a parking lot directly to the south of this project. Can accommodate, I believe it's up to 10 to 12 parking spaces. Vehicles, there's also parking that can be accommodated on the side, on the street, with plenty of room for access for other vehicles. The last question, and the most important question, is the impact. Is there going to be a negative impact to the community? Staff spoke about this, researched it, and we conclude that no, there should be a negative impact at best. One of the things that we would hope to get from any new uses that come to the downtown area is a pedestrian-friendly type of business. Want people on the street. This is exactly what this is going to do. He's going to have classes, I believe up to 10 people per class, almost every hour on the hour, on different days of the week. I believe mostly Monday through Friday. He may accommodate Saturdays if he needs to. But he's going to bring more people to this area, which is what we want. We currently have a couple of anchors that are in place. We have the True Value, which has been an anchor forever. Now they have some help from the Conquest Arms that's bringing a lot of people to this area. And now hopefully this new use, which is Pinal CrossFit, hopefully can help add to that, bring some more activity to that area. We did go through an extensive public participation process. There's a sign that it's required to be posted that was behind the property. It was facing 8th Street, but we sent letters to 300. It was 300 feet around the site. We had a neighborhood meeting. It was posted in a legal ad for the planning and zoning meeting and for the town council meeting that's coming up. The neighborhood meeting, it did bring us 2 people that were interested. Not so much about the use. They were okay with the use. They were more interested regarding how this would impact the historic property. And the owner was able to satisfy any major questions that they had. So no concerns. We have no letters of opposition for this case, which is always a positive thing. So in our findings, we have 3 findings for this case. We conclude that there's no negative impacts to the adjacent properties, the property owners on Main Street. Will be beneficial, will increase pedestrian traffic along Main Street. Planning and Zoning Commission and Town Council may include conditions to protect the public health if you need to. The last thing I wanted to mention, which I kind of left out, that's very important, is currently the way this property sits, it used to be a bar, event center / restaurant. The restaurant somehow has both sets of restrooms that both of these facilities used. When the property, the half that we're speaking about today was foreclosed on, that property did not get restrooms with it. As weird as it may sound, this property has no restrooms. So the owner has agreed, per the conditional use permit, to provide restrooms, ADA compliant restrooms, 3 months. He has 3 months to put them in. So when he opens his doors, when the CrossFit opens their doors, they got 3 months to comply, which will be an improvement to this property. And staff is real excited about that positive improvement. Staff recommends positive recommendation, that you forward a positive recommendation to council. We added some conditions that are typically pretty common for a conditional use permit. If you have any questions for the applicant, he's here, the owner of the business is here. You have any questions for myself or for the applicant?
I'll open it up to the...
I'd like to make a statement that, just a historical thing, that Hoyt and Carol Huckabee used to do the history hub there. And in the wintertime, they had 40 to 60 people there, and the traffic was pretty good. The parking was fine. There was no big deal. And then for a while, Blue Adobe was using the back room to the north they had furniture and pottery and stuff in there for a while, and so they were open when the history hub was on, so people could come in and look around and look at their stuff. So that was a good utilization of the building. It's a good location, and parking is fine, and I think it's a good use of it. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
What would be the hours of operation?
I'll have the applicant come up and answer that question for you.
State your name and address for the record, please.
Chris Newman. What else did you want?
The hours of operation?
So I'm currently, my classes run 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m., and then I pick back up again in the afternoon, so 4, 5, 6, and 8 p.m. With targeting the prisons, I'll probably shuffle around a little bit, probably add a 3 p.m. class for those guards that get off at 2 o'clock so they can access the gym right after their shift is over. So typically a CrossFit gym will run 8 classes a day, and they're an hour long. So warm-up workout is typically 30 minutes or less of short, intense exercise.
The reason I asked is because we have I think it's a 10 or 11 o'clock curfew.
Oh yeah, I won't be
For people underage, and
Yeah.
if any one of them joined with it.
And I'm probably going to drop my 8 p.m. class because I want to get home at a decent hour. I've been getting home at 9:30, which is a little late for me. I'm getting home.
Isn't that the life of a businessman, a small businessman? You get to work a half a day, and you can choose which 12 hours you want to work.
Correct. Yeah, that's I've been in the medical device business for 20 years, and so I'm looking at this as my fun retirement career.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
What type of signage do you plan on?
Actually, the existing signage that's up there, we're just going to paint over it. So there's two of those Adobe signs that are currently up there. Planning on just using those and repurposing them just to save money.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Olgin, this is just getting to the technical sides of things. This really has everything to do with what's going on, but it really doesn't. Okay? We're under this conditional use permit. We're calling this an indoor recreational facility. Now, we have a fitness center on the 100 block of Main Street,
Yes, sir.
and we're calling it a fitness center. This feels very much like a fitness center. So, as a note, for future revisions to our ordinances, we might want to expand some of these conditional uses so that we're not playing games with words. Other than that, I really don't have anything to say, but good luck to you. Okay, can I have a motion, please?
Where'd it go? Okay, I move that we forward to the town council a favorable recommendation on this proposed conditional use permit, and that is, PZ-16-22 CLU.
I have a second?
Yes, I'll second that. I add
Say
that
second.
with the staff's recommendations.
Yes, absolutely.
With the staff's recommendations, I'll second.
I have a motion by Vice Chairman Puttrick, second by Commissioner Bell. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Here's the mine.
The gain has turned up way too much. Turning it down?
I can't get it much farther away.
Too close to a speaker?
Yes.
Speakers are off.
They're off. All right, let's move right along here.
Yep.
Downtown commercial DC zone change. Presentation, discussion, recommendation of a zone change.
There's 11 properties that are involved in this case. And I would say 2 of them are owned by the town of Florence, 4 by Pinal County, and the other 5 are by separate property owners. Give you some background. We've been working on this for quite a while now. 2013, we got direction from council to initiate these text changes, DC zone change. Zone change was started back in 2007 by myself and my director, Mr. Eckhoff. The intent was to create something that would protect historic properties. As we went through several years, we realized that there was still some more changes that were needed because we still couldn't get enough businesses to locate there for obvious reasons. So we moved forward with the text changes, a text amendment for the DC zone change, and we kind of focused on the mixed uses, but we looked at setbacks, and ultimately the one thing that helped the most was the on-site parking. We waived the requirement for on-site parking. That led to us increasing the boundaries. If you look at the map, it is a little bit hard to read. It kind of blends. I apologize. However, the area we're talking about has a yellow border around it. Properties in green, those are the ones that are currently zoned DC. I believe the properties that are purple are the ones that we're talking about today. The area is designated as DMU. Let's move on to the next slide. No. So through the general plan, it allows us to move forward with DC zone change. And like I said before, it was to help accommodate historic properties, the historic character, and also bring together an area that was more pedestrian friendly. More pedestrian friendly mean that since there's no parking on site because you couldn't accommodate it, there's more parking on Main Street, which ultimately acts as a traffic calming measure, slows people down. But that's what we want. We improved walkways, we improved sidewalks. All this kind of leads to a pedestrian friendly environment. That's what we're trying to push forward for. If you look at this map here in front of you, this shows current zoning. So the two properties that are owned by the town is the one up here and the one here. This one is currently zoned for R2, which is like condos. This one here is PI, which is public institutional. Properties that are up and down here, these two in the corner are the counties. These are private citizens. These are all zoned MFR, which is for apartments. Properties on this side, on the other side that is closest to Pinal Street. This property currently is NO, which is neighborhood office. The other properties are also NO, neighborhood office. I believe these two properties down here that are owned by Pinal County, those are also neighborhood office. And this one in the corner, which is a private citizen, that's neighborhood office. So by moving forward with this, it's going to convert all these to DC, which is the intent. Ultimately, staff is pushing to turn the entire area that's defined by the yellow line, all of it will be DC eventually. So we're getting there. There's almost 100 properties involved, so we don't have very many left to rezone. Now, staff has gotten owner permission forms from all the people involved, except for the county. It's not needed, and obviously the town. But the 5 other ones that we have dealt with, they all gave owner consent, owner permission, and they signed 207 waivers. Now, we have gone through an extensive public participation process as well with this one. We had a neighborhood meeting on March 9th. We had 2 people show up, which is more than last time, which I was kind of excited about. Anytime people show up to our meetings, we get excited. They were in favor of this. Their questions were more about why are we doing this? How is it going to affect the area? So at the end of the meeting, they were all in favor, had no issues. We have no letters of opposition as of yet. Tonight is one of the public hearings, the second public hearing scheduled for April 18th. Be the first reading of the ordinance, and then May 2nd should be the action by council. With that public participation process, as with this conditional use permit, we sent letters to everybody within 300 feet of these properties that were shown on the map. We did 2 locations for posting of signs in front of you. It shows you where they're at. One's over by the Padilla Park. The other one's over by the donut shop right across the street. We also did ads in the newspaper, the reminder, the Florence reminder. So what are the findings? Findings that we came up with are that proposed zoning is consistent with the general plan, 2020 general plan. Number 2, the general plan, 2020 general plan has the downtown mixed use DMU designation on the site, which supports the mixed use of land uses while respecting the value of the historic area. Number 3, the future development of the sites will be subject to all applicable town codes. 4, the zone change to downtown commercial zoning district will allow more pedestrian-oriented land uses and make the subject area more compatible with the historic district. Staff has recommended favorable recommendation on this case. Just as a matter of fact, some of these properties were in the process of moving forward last year, and due to the effort by our director and the admin and our attorney, we were asked to have a more intense public participation process. So that's part of the reason why you're seeing these guys again, these application properties again. But we did pull out 3 new properties by going through this process again. So if you have any questions for staff, I'd be happy to answer them.
No, I think I'm okay.
You have one?
In my packet, under public participation, it says staff has received 1 letter of opposition regarding this DC zone change. You just stated that there was no letter of
Yeah, that must have been an error, sir. What page is
misprint,
it?
or was there no letters?
Yeah, that was...
Page 4, second sentence.
No, that was a mistake, sir. Yeah, there hasn't been any letters of opposition. I apologize. At least not of yet. Now that probably was a... Yeah, there has been... No, there's no letters of opposition. And as we said before, at the neighborhood meeting, the 2 people that did come were in favor. Any other questions for staff?
No, I'm good.
I'm just taking a second look at 150.047, make sure that we're not tripping ourselves up by, and I really don't see anything that would be a problem.
The economic factor on this, is there much of an economic factor on
I can't understand what you're saying, sir.
Is there much of an economic factor on this for the business owners? That's mentioned also.
It's been positive for economic development. To be totally frank with the commission, since we did the text amendment and we removed the parking requirements, that's part of the reason why Conquest Arms relocated and came to the location. Before they had to accommodate, that size of building had to accommodate that many, it'd be over 10 to 12 parking spots. And now they don't have to do that. We were able to convince when we did the text amendment that there's enough town-owned parking to accommodate these types of uses. So that was, so it's definitely been it's a positive for economic development. As mentioned before in past meetings, we have the chop shop and the title company that relocated because they didn't have to worry about parking. Now it doesn't waive the AD compliant parking, which that's done case by case, and it's also dependent on how much is spent on a tenant improvement. But as far as regular parking, that's been waived. So that's been huge. And also the fact that now these businesses can grow to the full extent of the property is also beneficial, because some of these lots were so small that there was no way for these businesses to open up shop and try to accommodate parking. So now they can open up to the full extent of the property and just have people park on the street. So we don't have a parking problem in Florence yet in our downtown core. We hope to get to that point and then look at that then. But right now we have plenty of parking to accommodate these uses.
Mr. Olgin, the only fly in the ointment that I can find, it's a minor one, but it's something worth noting, is, well, let me first make sure I understand what you're saying, because I think I misinterpreted the package. Everything inside your yellow box, we're going to wave a magic wand to make that whole thing downtown commercial, or is it just
the properties in red?
So it's only those?
Those are the ones that are part of this application. There's already properties within that box, as you called it, that are already DC. This process has been going on since 2013.
All right, so I've misinterpreted.
So just the 11 properties in front of you on this map are the ones that are up for the zone change. The types of it's stated in the very first paragraph of the packet as what they currently are. So we have everything from neighborhood office, NO, highway business commercial, which is B2, public institutional, which is PI, and multifamily residential, which is MFR. And they're all, these 11 properties are applying to be for a zone change to
I didn't
DC.
envision it as piecemealing. I thought we were finally going to just do the whole thing and be done with it.
Chair, Vice Chair Commission, since Proposition 207 was adopted several years ago, the possibility to do that is no longer there. So now we have to have owner's consent.
Right.
We also have to have a 207 waiver, so they can't come back and say that their property diminished in value, to do each and every property. Well, in theory, we could rezone without their consent, but then it could lead to a lawsuit.
I understand.
Okay.
I remember the case.
May I suggest that the next time we do this, that you use two colors to show the properties that are already rezoned?
Chair, Vice Chair, we tried to do that with these maps, and unfortunately, you can't see it very well. As you look at this map here, it shows current properties that are outlined in green and purple. We tried to do that, but even the designation for the general plan for DMU is the wrong. It came out, they blended at the wrong color, so we apologize. But the intent was to do that for you. We can look at making it bigger. I think that would help.
Yeah, I mean, then it's when you read through and you look at the picture, it's clear. And this map that you're showing here is different than the map we have in our package.
Yes, if you look at this map, sir, it's a general plan map, which are designations, and you got the zoning map. And then we have ultimately the exhibit that will be attached to this case that shows the actual 11 properties that are going through the zone change process. And with that said, there's still some more that we're looking at possibly rezoning if the owners will let us. But this will be the last town-initiated application that we'll do. After this, it's going to be on the owner to...
Individual owner?
Yes. But we do apologize for the confusion, but there's a lot of properties we're dealing with. And as I mentioned in the yellow box, there's almost 100, I think 98 to be exact, so quite a few. Any other questions for staff?
I'm good.
Good points, thank you for bringing that up to our attention.
Okay. Well, based on our discussions, we can see that the proposed zoning is consistent with the 2020 general plan. As Mr. Olgin has presented, we're not creating a parking problem. For the owners of the property, we have no letters against
No.
DC. And considering that this has been a long-term project, finally being brought to fruition, I'll move that we recommend to council a favorable recommendation. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion by Chair Pranzo, second by Commissioner Bell. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Call to the public. Call to the public for public comment on issues within the jurisdiction of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Individual commission members may respond to criticisms made, may ask staff to review a matter raised, or may ask that the matter be put on a future agenda. However, members of the commission shall not discuss or take action on any matter during an open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. Without public comment, I'll close. Call to the commission, current events only. Do we have any current events, gentlemen?
I just thought at the county meeting this morning, we talked about the county's effort to develop a regional transit authority, Pinal Regional Transit. Anyway, it's coming along, so look for that and look for taxes because it's coming. And I think that was the only thing we talked about. Nothing new on Phoenix Mart, nothing new on anything else. I'm waiting to hear from Tim Knable about some projects that were in works, but looks like Phoenix Mart is still foundering, and that's all I have.
Anything? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the second motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bill, second by Vice Chair Patrick. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? We're adjourned.